Forest ecosystem. The first image shows fungi glowing on a fallen log, indicative of a forest ecosystem. Forest ecosystems are characterized by a diverse array of plant and animal species, including fungi, which play a crucial role in nutrient cycling and decomposition. Mangrove ecosystem. The second image depicts mangrove trees with characteristic prep roots submerged in water. Mangrove ecosystems are coastal wetlands found in tropical and subtropical regions. They are highly productive and support diverse communities of plants, animals, and microorganisms. Epiphytic ecosystem. The third image shows epiphytic plants growing high in the trees. Epiphytes are plants that grow on other plants, usually trees, without deriving nutrients from them. This is a typical of a rainforest or tropical forest ecosystem where high humidity and frequent rainfall support such plant life. Insect ecosystem. The fourth ecosystem depicted is an insect ecosystem characterized by the presence of insects and arachnids interacting with a cactus. These ecosystems showcase symbiotic relationship between plants and insects, with the cactus providing habitat and resources for various insect species, including spiders. It supports a diverse microhabitat for fostering a variety of insect species crucial for ecological balance. Butterflies observed in this ecosystem contribute to pollination and further. Wetland ecosystem. The fifth image shows a small pond, indicative of a wetland ecosystem. Wetland ecosystems include areas where water covers the soil or is present at or near the surface of the soil all year for varying periods of time during the year. The small pond serves as a water source for both trees and insects, while also providing habitat for aquatic insects like dragonflies and water striders. The diverse community within the pond includes larvae of dragonflies and mosquitoes, supporting a variety of interaction among species.
There are 5 different types of ecosystems that can be identified during the field survey at the lake ecosystem. Firstly, aquatic ecosystem. The presence of numerous fish suggests good water quality and a thriving food web. Aquatic plants and algae play crucial roles by providing food and shelter for various organisms, underscoring the importance of maintaining water quality, oxygen levels, and nutrient balance. Secondly, terrestrial ecosystem. Lizards found on the tree trunks indicate a healthy ecosystem with abundant vegetation and prey. Trees and plants provide homes and food for many animals on land, showing why it is important to have diverse vegetation and healthy soil for a balanced ecosystem. Thirdly, insect ecosystem. Observation of insects on leaf highlight the biodiversity supported by plant life. Insects are essential for pollination, decomposition, and as a food source for higher trophic levels, indicating the critical role of plant diversity and the ecological function of insects. Next, riparian ecosystem. Plants along the lake's edge stabilize shores, clean water, and provide homes for many animals. Plants like reeds and willows support frogs, birds, and insects, showing how important shoreline plants are for a healthy ecosystem. Lastly, urban ecosystem. Despite human development, wildlife like pigeons and squirrels are observed coexisting with urban structures. This demonstrates the adaptability of wildlife to urban environment and underscores the need to consider human impact on ecosystem while managing green space around the lake.
A biotic factor in RLL in the ecosystem. First one is water. Good ecosystem have a sustainable water supply. A good ecosystem ensures sustainable water supply through the presence of streams and lakes, vital for the survival of diverse flora and fauna. This water source supports aquatic and terrestrial life, contributing to a balanced ecosystem rich in biodiversity and habitats. Second point is air. Both ecosystems have a good quality of air. The ecosystem maintains fresh air, facilitating optimal respiration for its habitats. The presence of clean and unpolluted air supports a healthy and thriving ecosystem, promoting the well-being of plants, animals, and microorganisms within the environment. The third point is mineral. Both ecosystems rich in essential minerals. The ecosystem provides fertile ground for plant growth and development. These minerals play a critical role in supporting a flourishing botanical ecosystem, ensuring the availability of vital nutrients for plant health and sustainability. Third point is light. The lake ecosystem receives more sunlight compared to the RLL ecosystem because the lake ecosystem is an open area with only a few tall trees growing, unlike the trees in the RLL area. The last point is soil. The RLL ecosystem has a mangrove swamp, soil, and peat soil, while the lake ecosystem has clay soil and peat. The presence of multiple soil types such as mangrove swamp, soil, and peat soil contributes to diverse and productivity of ecosystem.
Factor of the ecosystem and rainforest ecosystem. Biotic factors are living components of an ecosystem like plants, animals, and microorganisms. They interact with each other and with non-living factors, shaping the ecosystem structure and functions. Plants producing oxygen and food, animals consuming plants and other animals, and microorganisms decomposing organic matter. There are many types of interaction in this both ecosystem. Parasitism. Parasitism is one organism benefit at the expense of another organism. The relationship between a group of insects invading a tree. The insect benefit because they live in a feed on the tree, but the tree is harmed because its important tissue are getting eaten and destroyed. Next, the relationship between parasite and fish. In lake ecosystem, parasite infect fish, affecting their health and behavior. Parasites are transmitted through water on prey. They can cause reduced growth, reproductive issue, and even death. High parasite loads can impact fish population and ecosystem dynamic. The next one is mutualism, which both organisms involved benefit from the relationships. The first one is relationship between puddle and lake. Nutrient transport from the puddle into the lake can be utilized by various organisms within the lake ecosystem. Algae and aquatic plants in the lake use nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and carbon to support their growth and photosynthesis. Fish and aquatic organisms then consume this primary procedure, transferring nutrients up to the food chain. Next is the relationship between bees and flowers. Bees feed on the nectar on flowers and in doing so transport pollen from the one flower to another, thereby promoting pollination and plant reproduction. Commensalism. Commensalism is one organism benefit from the relationship while the other organism is neither help or harm. Example of rainforest ecosystem, the relationship between tree and epiphytic plants. Epiphytic live in the surface of the other plants like ferns, mosses, and orchids and use the surface of the tree for support and for obtaining sunlight and moisture. For lake ecosystem, the relationship between fish and aquatic plants. In freshwater lake, fish like roach or common crab seek refuge and breeding ground among dense aquatic plants. As they move through the vegetations, they disturb sediment or releasing nutrients that help the plants grow. These relationships, known as commensalism, benefit both parties. The fish find safe spot while the plants get extra nutrients all without any harm to the plants. One is predation. Predation is one organism hunts and consumes other organisms for food. The example for lake ecosystem, which is relationship between fish and algae. Predator fish like bass or trout eat small creatures that graze on algae, keeping their numbers in check. With river grazes around, algae populations stay under control. So by snacking on this smaller organism, predator fish indirectly help manage algae levels in aquatic ecosystem. For rainforest ecosystem, which is the relationship between spider and insect. Spider are skilled predators that hunt various insects as prey. They use their webs, steel, and speed to catch insects for food. This predator relationship help control insect population in ecosystem, maintaining balance and biodiversity.
Limiting factors in a forest ecosystem may include availability of sunlight, soil nutrient, and water. Competition for light among trees in the canopy can limit the growth of understory plants. Soil nutrient availability can be a limiting factor for plant growth, affecting the diversity and distribution of species. Water availability, especially in dry seasons, can limit the growth of plants and influence the entire ecosystem. In a mangrove ecosystem, limiting factors include salinity, tidal inundation, and soil stability. High salinity levels can limit the growth of certain plant species. Tidal inundation frequency and duration affect plant establishment and growth. Soil stability is crucial for mangrove trees, and factors like wave action can influence sediment deposition and stability. Limiting factors for epiphytic plants include availability of water, nutrients, and support structures. Water availability, especially in the canopy, can vary, affecting plant growth. Nutrient availability, often obtained from air and organic matter trapped in tree branches, can be limited. The availability of suitable host trees can also limit the distribution of epiphytic plants. Limiting factors in an insect ecosystem may include food availability, habitat availability, and climate conditions. Availability of suitable plants for food and shelter is crucial for insect population. Climate factors such as temperature and moisture can limit insect activity and reproduction. Pesticide use and habitat destruction can also be significant limiting factors for insect population. Limiting factors in wetland ecosystem include water availability, water quality, and substrate composition. Fluctuation in water levels can affect the distribution of plant and animal species. Water quality parameters such as pH, oxygen levels, and nutrient availability can be limiting for certain species. Substrate composition and stability influence plant establishment and habitat availability for aquatic organisms.
Factor for aquatic ecosystem is light. Less light with depth will limit photosynthesis, temperature. It can affect metabolism, oxygen levels, and survival. The third one is oxygen. It is needed for aquatic life and it varies with temperature and pollution. For terrestrial ecosystem, the first limiting factor is water. Water is critical for plants and animals, especially in dry areas. The second one is soil. The texture, pH, and nutrients of the soil will affect plant growth. Climate. It is affected by temperature and rainfall, and it will determine vegetation and animal life. For insect ecosystem, the first limiting factor is humidity and water. It is crucial to prevent the insect from drying out. The second one is habitat. Habitat is necessary for shelter and breeding. The third one is temperature, as temperature can influence metabolic rates of insect. For riparian ecosystem, the limiting factor is water flow. It is critical for plant and animal life. Changes in flow can harm the ecosystem. The second one is soil moisture. It will affect plant growth. The third one is invasive species. Competition between natives is a limiting factor for riparian ecosystem. Lastly, for urban ecosystem, first limiting factor is green spaces. Limited availability can constrain biodiversity in water. Pollution and altered hydrology can reduce the availability of clean water. The last one is climate change. Extreme weather events stress urban ecosystems.
This field survey experience significantly enhanced our understanding of our responsibilities as citizens. By observing and analyzing the different ecosystems around the lake and Real Living Lab, we realized the critical importance of environmental stewardship. As citizens, we have a duty to protect and preserve our natural surroundings for future generations. This project highlighted how human activities impact ecosystems and reinforced the need for sustainable practice. It emphasized the importance of community involvement in conservation efforts. Understanding this has made us more aware of how our actions affect the environment both directly and indirectly. Overall, this experience has deepened our commitment to being responsible and proactive citizens in safeguarding our natural heritage and actively contributing to the sustainability of our environment.
In this activity, I have been able to learn new skills and knowledge about the importance of maintaining a balanced ecosystem. A balanced ecosystem will preserve the beauty of nature and can sustain population of life in each ecosystem. For example, mangrove swamps and lakes are extremely important in maintaining an adequate water supply for life, especially aquatic life. To maintain a healthy ecosystem, we must conserve and preserve essential resources such as tree replantation and creating animal habitats to ensure a balanced ecosystem.
Visiting the Real Living Lab provides a unique and immersive learning experience that can greatly enhance our understanding of ecology in several ways. 1. Observational learning. Being in the midst of a real ecosystem allows us to observe ecological process firsthand. We can see how trees and insects interact in their natural environment, witness feeding behaviors, observe predator-prey dynamics, and even notice subtle changes over time. 2. Contextual understanding. Seeing ecological principles in action within a real-world context helps us contextualize theoretical knowledge. For example, we can see how concepts like symbiosis play out in a dynamic ecosystem, providing a deeper understanding of textbook concepts. And lastly, critical thinking and problem solving. Exploring a real ecosystem encourages critical thinking as we analyze ecological patterns, identify ecological relationships, and propose hypotheses to explain observed phenomena.